call the Bremen High School District 228 Board of Education meeting to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Canning?
Here.
Mrs. Gleason? Here. Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Mrs. Jones? Here. Mrs. Camworth here. Mrs. Ressler? Here. Ms. Stearns?
Here. Please rise for the pledge. At this time, I'm looking for a motion to approve both the regular and closed session minutes of March 21st. So, second. Moved by Ms. Ressler, second by Ms. Gleason. Mrs. Jones and Gleason. Any discussion? No discussion.
Mrs. Jones?
Aye.
Mrs. Gleason?
Aye.
Mr. Canning?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Camworth? Aye. Mrs. Ressler? Aye. Ms. Stearns?
Aye. Motion passes. Board recognition award.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Oak Forest High School is pleased to present to you the Board of Education and Recognition Award of Mrs. Cindy Grannon. Cindy, would you mind coming up? Mrs. Grannon is an outstanding example of a community of support that Oak Forest High School is lucky to have. As the district has worked to better our facilities with the construction project, we have been lucky to partner with Mrs. Granite. She is the Director of Parks and Recreation for the Oak Forest Park District. Her partnership with our school has allowed us to undertake the current construction project with the least amount of disturbance to our student athletes. She has agreed to schedule our teams at local Park District facilities, and the students have found their second home for their athletic practices and competitions at the Park District tennis courts and soccer fields. Mrs. Granite is also a parent of Bengal alumni, and is common with our parents, is a huge supporter of the high school. For her support to our school and our athletic programs, it is our pleasure to recognize Mrs. Cindy Granite for her contributions to Oak Forest High School. Thank you, Cindy.
The award says Volunteer Excellence Award. The Board of Education presents this award to Cindy Grannon. You have helped to provide a positive learning environment for the students of District 228 by the time and talent you share. Thank you for caring.
Thanks.
Move on to our business.
Oak Forest High School is pleased to have Mr. Duplo with us again this evening. So Mike, come on up and give us a good news report. Thank you. Yes.
How are you? I'm Mike Duplo. Oak Forest, we nominated 80 students to the Spring Student Recognition Breakfast. We played bingo and had a good time there. We inducted 20 students into our World Language National Honor Society for both French and Spanish. Our Once Upon a Cure concert, it was good. We raised a lot of money there for our Tinley and Oak Forest Jazz Band.
And choir.
Oh, and choir, sorry. We had all sectional cast members for Coraline at Richards High School. The vocal jazz melodies at Jazz Night, we held that on March 18th at Oak Forest, and we had a good time there. 5 students signed letters of intent. Dylan Henson's going to play at Purdue Northwest. Danny Roach will play at Franklin College. Jake Regula is going to play at Defiance College. Jessica Wasik will play at Trinity Christian. Maurice Perkins will play at Robert Morris, and Gretchen Behrens will swim at St. Thomas. The girls' soccer team raised over $1,000 in support of Julia Jane. They also had started off well in their season. The Oak Forest baseball program traveled to Alabama and had a 3-1 record over spring break. Other spring sports have gotten off to a very good start. Softball started good, girls soccer and girls track started good, and so did boys track, and boys volleyball is on their way to a very good season. I just want to thank not only Oak Forest but the district for a great 4 years here at Oak Forest. I've turned to a much better man through all the help I've had here, and I just want to thank you guys for everything. Thank you.
Good evening. On behalf of Tinley Park High School, I would like to reintroduce to you Justin Morgan, and his father, Tom Morgan, who's in the audience as well. Justin is providing our good news report tonight on one sole topic, and that would be Justin Morgan, as he has been the first Tinley Park High School student accepted into the United States Naval Academy.
As was said, my name is Justin Morgan, and I have recently received the great honor of an appointment to the United States Naval Academy. This opportunity, as you may imagine, is one that cannot be easily attained. The application process is one of the most selective in the country, with a 7% acceptance rate. To give some points of reference, that's on par with Stanford and Yale. The application is structured this way for a reason, so only candidates with the ability to not only succeed, but to thrive in a military college are allowed to walk through the grand staircase of Tecumseh Court. This application, the application itself embodies the traits of a midshipman at the academy, taking persistence, determination, and drive to actually complete. Through the last year, I have had the opportunity to take the journey through this application, and as much of life tends to be, I found that completing the candidate profile is a race. Finishing early in a race always tends to be the best option, and starting early makes that look slightly more plausible. Which is why I began doing research on the application process at the beginning of my freshman year in Tinley. This helped me drastically because when the end of junior year rolled around, I already knew, more or less, what was needed to be done. To start this journey, I submitted an application for the Naval Academy Summer Seminar, and this doubles as a preliminary application, which is a required step to even be considered as a candidate for application. I was not given the chance to experience this week of Naval Academy activities because even official visits to the Academy are extremely competitive. However, I was informed that I could open a candidate profile and begin my application, a much more than daunting task when looking at the numerous requirements. This all began in November of 2015, almost a year and a half ago. As I mentioned, it's best to start races early. I completed as much of the profile as I could alone. What remained required the assistance of several other people. At this time, I received another email from the Academy, and this one was an offer to attend a candidate visit weekend, which is basically an overnight stay in the dorms of Bancroft Hall and following your assigned midshipmen around through their daily schedule. This was September 1st to the 3rd, and I couldn't wait to see the yard firsthand. On the plane ride back to O'Hare after that weekend, I could picture myself walking through the prestigious hallways, having morning workouts in the practice field, studying late through the night, dressing in uniform for parades, and repeating everything again the next day. When I was able to see how the world inside the USNA gates function, I pushed myself even further, or even faster to finish my application. I continued to work on my profile, submitting various teacher and coach recommendations, interviews with the blue and gold officer of the area, physical and visual evaluations, completing the candidate fitness assessment, and submitting to Senators, Congressman Rush, and the Vice President for the required nomination. I came to receive my nomination from Congressman Rush, which was a very exciting time because it brought me into a much more competitive position as a candidate. Eventually, I finished everything that was necessary. It came down to waiting for another email from the admissions office and updating my information, which I had to do several times because I realized that it was still possible to strengthen my resume greatly. For example, I became a member of several scholastic clubs and organizations, NHS, Spanish NHS, tutoring, Titan Scholar, and an Illinois State Scholar, among a few others. This made me feel a lot better about my chances, but I still had 4 long months before the Academy even began sending out application letters, or acceptance letters. In this time, I looked through several backup plans, including the NROTC options, but those plans eventually didn't matter because the yellow envelope from the USNA admissions office arrived in the mail. The acceptance letter that's nothing like any other college acceptance letter. I've only begun to realize that this opportunity has actually been afforded to me and that Plebe Summer is truly in my very near future. Until induction day on June 29th in Tecumseh Court, the day all new plebes in the class of 2021 become midshipmen, my time will be devoted to preparing for the rigors of military life. I do not know exactly what to expect, but for now, I, and most likely any other candidate waiting for the last third day of June this year, need to focus on finishing the school year strong, maintaining grades, hopefully passing out of a few classes through the upcoming AP tests, and searching for any source that could help prepare mentally, physically, and academically for the future. My journey through this application in itself has helped me become a stronger person, making transition to the military college slightly less jolting. The application isn't fast, but an entirely new journey awaits in Annapolis, Maryland for myself and fellow candidates soon to be mentioned. Thank you.
As Dr. Sims makes her way up here, just to let you know that that package is worth over $400,000, the award that he's receiving to go to the Naval Academy. I know it seems like an award sometimes, but congratulations. Dr. Sims?
It's with great pleasure that I present one of our students to give our good news report. Ms. Tyler Allen will come up for Hillcrest High School.
Hello. Good evening. My name is Tyler Allen. I am a junior at Hillcrest High School, and I am a member of the Hillcrest Drama Group and the speech team. And now for your good news. As a part of Hillcrest's continued commitment to service the community, Hillcrest Interact Club, sophomore leadership, and SOAR groups under the supervision of Miss Barbara Wade partnered to perform volunteer work at the Chicago Food Depository. Hillcrest students were given the task of packing black beans and a goal of packing, weighing, and labeling at least 1,000 bags. Not only did the Hawks meet their goal, but the students also repacked a total of 1,414 bags of black beans. As the summer has begun to warm, Hillcrest teachers are finding ways to extend academics beyond the classroom to increase student engagement. For example, in what has become a springtime tradition, Ms. Bucci's honors algebra students launched water rockets on the lawn and then used properties of the quadratic equation to determine the height, the rockets travel. Also, 42 Hillcrest students and their science teachers, Ms. Cardinal, Ms. Molak, Mr. Poliak, and Mr. Switzer, visit the 1080 education experience held at the UIC Forum. The students participated in hands-on workshops to further develop their understanding of STEM concepts. The day was wrapped up with team building activities and a collaboration of skills learned in various sessions. On that same evening, Hillcrest held its 14th annual STEM night, in which over 100 students took advantage of the opportunity to explore and engage in STEM-related challenges and activities. In late March, Ms. Adebeson Mason organized a field trip to enhance the students' cultural awareness and art appreciation. 43 students traveled to see the Alvin Ailey dancers perform their near-legendary Night Creatures and Revelations. The students were moved by the artistry and power of Alvin Ailey's choreography. On April 6th and 7th, the Hillcrest Drama Group presented And in This Corner, Cassius Clay, based on the early life of Muhammad Ali in Jim Crow Louisville. The play tells a story of a young man who believes his potential is unlimited despite the segregation and racism he is surrounded by. With the help of his boxing coach, Cassius fulfills his dreams, but through the course of the play, he comes to understand that there are more important things than personal success. He must also use these gifts for the good of his community. Our school newspaper, the Hillcrest Hawkeye, has entered its third year since migrating to a purely online format. The Hawkeye recently published its 100th student-created article for the year. This year, the Hawkeye has had over 200 article submissions from over 50 students, leading to its benchmark publishing achievement. The spring athlete season is underway, and our biggest competitor has been Mother Nature. All of our sports teams are encountering numerous weather challenges. Our varsity baseball teams swept a doubleheader versus Rich South, while our softball team won their home opener against Thornwood. Recently, our girls track team took 3rd place in the Kankakee Invite. In the boys track, Najee Sylvester broke the school record in the 200-meter dash during the TF North Quad. Hillcrest is the home of the Hawks. Hawks are swift, intensely focused, and powerful creatures. They are intelligent, wise, and proud. It's good to be a Hawk. Thank you.
Tyler neglected to mention that in the Cassius play, she was one of the major characters in there. She actually played multiple roles and did an excellent job, too.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to introduce two of our juniors, Elijah Trella and Daniel Meza. Give our good news report.
Hello, my name is Elijah Trella. As you know, I'm a junior at Berman High School. I'm involved in track and cross country, and this is my friend and teammate.
Hi, I'm Danny Meza, junior at BHS. Dr. Kabelkis and Berman High School are proud to announce that the students and staff raised over $24,000 this year for the St. Baldrick's Foundation, making this year's event the largest St. Baldrick's fundraiser in BHS history. The BHS event is an all-hands-on-deck type of event around BHS. Students come together to not only fundraise, but to plan the event, recruit volunteers, host design contests, and organize the energizing assembly that concludes the month-long community fundraising effort. Code of the Braves sponsor, Ms. Teresa Connolly, stated, St. Baldrick's was once again a huge success thanks to the many hours put into preparation and fundraising by our Code of the Braves members, the generosity and giving nature of the student body, and the efforts of so many staff members. This year's event held a special place in many hearts of BHS community members as it was a tribute to senior classmate Paola Zambrano, who lost her battle with cancer as a sophomore. Bremen recognized 101 students on April 11th as part of our annual Spring Honors Assembly. Students were recognized for a variety of academic activities and athletic accomplishments. Dr. Kabelkis specifically recognized freshman Jasmine Hardy, nominated by Ms. Katie Kelly, sophomore Diana Pinto, nominated by Mr. Michael Thompson, junior Melissa Vasquez, nominated by Ms. Jen Dwyer, and senior Guadalupe Rodriguez, nominated by Mr. George Tarnley, Mr. Brett Esposito, and Mr. Matthew Meany. There were over 50 students nominated for the Spring Student of the Month Award. Congratulations to all students that were nominated and honored.
Bremen High School is proud to announce that 623 students had perfect attendance for the month of March. At the Spring Honors Assembly, Principal Dr. Dave Kabelkis announced the results of the winning class. Congratulations to the freshman class for having the highest attendance rate at 94%. The class of 2020 had an all-class pizza party, and Dr. Kabelkis raffled off 9 $10 iTunes gift cards and a $100 Amazon gift card. Congratulations to Sebastian Serrato for being our grand prize winner. Bremen High School's World Language Department is proud to announce that the induction of 43 well-deserved students into the inaugural local chapters of the French National Honor Society and the Spanish National Honor Society, founded in 1949 and 1953 respectively by the American Association of Teachers of French and Spanish. This organization promotes the continued study of the student's chosen foreign language. Students inducted must be in their 3rd or 4th year of high school study and must have maintained a high average in their world language classes as well as their other classes. Upon introduction to the Honor Society, students are expected to continue their language studies until they graduate from high school, complete service hours, and continue to earnestly promote language. The Bremen High School Drama Club will be performing the Drama Club on Thursday, April 27th and Friday, April 28th at 7 p.m. in our main gym. There will be a matinee performance on Saturday, April 29th at 5 p.m. Come out and enjoy the show. Tickets are $5 for adults and $3 for students at the door. In athletic news, we want to congratulate our varsity baseball team, who is out to a great start to the season, picking up a key win last week versus Lincoln Way West High School. The Braves are currently 8-2 overall and 4-0 in conference play. This was the Bremen High School Good News Report, and here at Bremen, we have pride.
At this time, we'd like to bring up Mr. Victor Pazik to introduce our school presentation. Mr. Pazik.
Thank you. As is, my name's Vic Pasick, and the director is Mr. John Stevens. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't you go ahead and get into your places. We are putting on a musical called Bye Bye Birdie, and we have 3 performances set. Will be a matinee on the 6th of May, an evening at 2 o'clock. We'll have an evening performance starting at 7, and then on Sunday we'll have another matinee at 2. This is one of our selections called Telephone Hour. We hope you enjoy it.
Thank you, Mr. Pasick, Mr. Stevens, and our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Sam Castle.
I think he left. I don't think he's going to present.
Walk after. Get the box started. There you go.
Anyone else?
Do the same, just walk there.
We'll move on to reports, starting with the superintendent.
Since our last regular board meeting, we had the following Freedom of Information Act request. Jody Fraley, construction analyst for Indiana, Illinois, and Iowa Foundation, requested bid tabulations, including start and completion dates, breakdown of cost per trade, and a list of subcontractors performing various trades for District 228 site improvement. This request has been completed. Ms. Gabriella Lasorella, data acquisition specialist at Smart Procure, requested all purchase orders from December 20th, 2016 to present, including PO number, date, line item details, quantity and price, vendor ID, name, address, contact, and email. This request has been completed. Later in tonight's board meeting, I'll be recommending that the Board of Education approve a resolution honoring all District 228 staff. Annually, I recommend this resolution for board approval because we ask so much of our staff, and I'm proud to say that they deliver. On behalf of the Board of Education and Administration, I congratulate them all on a job well done. On Thursday, April 20th, we will be recognizing our retiring staff members for this school year. Together, these individuals have dedicated 521 years to District 228 students. I'd like to publicly thank them for their years of service and wish them the best. They are from Bremen High School, Mrs. Ava Oboma, Mr. Brad Johnson, Mr. Paul Rabarchek, Mr. Terry Stevens. From Tinley Park High School, Ms. Jean Clement, Ms. Rhonda Crocco, Pete Gagan, Peg McAbobby, Petra Moselle, and Bill Picker. From Hillcrest High School, Phyllis Becker, Donna Bruton, Julia Carroll, Kathleen Frazier, Mike McAbobby, Dennis McFarland, and Jesse Tyler. From Oak Forest, Patricia Bannock, Tom Vaughn, and Gina West. And from the district, Cynthia Marshall and Miss Gwen Martin. I'd like to thank them and congratulate them on a job well done. Thank you.
Do any board members have anything to report?
Yes, I do. We just had an election and I was supposed to read something at the past board meeting. I still think it's appropriate today that it be read anyway. As you know, I was elected to this Board of Education in 2015. I ran for my seat with the Parents for Progress group, which included and was managed by the incumbent Larry Cannon. At that time, I was convinced that the group was running for the right reasons, to take care of the District 228 students and taxpayers. As time went by, I learned that this was not the situation. I am making my statement tonight to those currently running with Parents for Progress and to the voters of this district. These things took place during my campaign in 2015 with PFP, and they are the reasons I caution you before you vote. Because the large amount of money I turned into Mr. Canning for my fundraising efforts was never recorded. When I asked about this, Mr. Canning was told me that not to worry about it because an angel donor was taking care of everything. We learned that not to be true. At one point in time, it was like $9,000, close to $10,000 that was still owed outstanding. We had one of the person that ran with us, for some reason, has zero money that was committed to it. So
what does this have to do with school business?
Wow.
This is an election. An election,
point.
things do not belong at the district table.
Okay.
And you know what, Madam President, you're allowing this to go on, and this is in our bylaws, and
It's a statement.
this is not appropriate for this
Making a
time.
statement.
I'm making a statement.
He's
Doesn't have any
making
effect on the
lies
election as he said the election's over.
The
It
election-
just says you
making
can
lies.
respond to them after what he said.
I will respond with them with an attorney.
That's fine. Let me finish it. Acquisitions.
And you know what, the election is over, so that didn't do you any good. I was the highest vote getter.
You respond to the line.
That's because you was #1 on the road, okay? And people really don't know what you're doing.
People will know what you're doing next time. I can trust you. You can trust me on that.
I can care less. You know, I'm here to do what I need to do to help this district move forward, and I'm doing that. I didn't vote against the budget, which would have caused the state to come in here and take over the district.
Then balance the budget.
But it is, it's right here.
Period.
Go out your statement.
Okay. Accusations, he needs to look in the mirror. Just for one example, in 2015 campaign, he used the Bremen Township work truck for campaign work. He is worked for Bremen Township. Okay. Recently, the Troop for 228 candidate discovered he was storing his parade float in the garage at his workplace, Bremen Township. They actually have video of it on the Troop for 228 Facebook page. After the election, Larry made it clear that I owed him for getting me elected. He told me to vote the way he wanted on the school board's business and not have a conversation with other board members. If I said I would vote my own mind, he would threaten me to have me removed from the board.
How can you lie like that? You are an absolute 100% liar. You are a disgrace to 228.
Let him finish.
Absolute disgrace. You are a
I have
liar.
your letter.
You are a liar.
I have your
And I
letter.
have your letters threatening to hire several board members on this board.
That was being banged. Please let him finish.
No, you're allowing this to go on.
This has got nothing to do with.
You're a farce too, Debbie. You're a farce.
And I.
In
Okay.
May of
You're an absolute
2015,
farce.
Thank you.
he sent an email to the entire Board of Education accusing me of making a statement about.
Not accusing you, threatening
threatening-
these board members
About-
on
I
this
got it right here. It
board with
says
bodily
threatening.
harm.
Threatened
And
about
I came to
3
him and let him
board
know.
members. Okay?
Mr. Johnson, because you
Okay,
couldn't be
board
football coach.
These-
Too bad. That you're gonna sue the district.
Can we get this on? Please keep on going.
Absolutely.
Really, it's enough already.
Okay.
Please.
That's your president allowing that.
What Larry King
Embarrassing.
said wasn't true. It was another one of those, of his efforts to control the Board of Education. This time Larry's actions were causing a conflict between the board members and affecting me in the business of personal life. It is obvious that Larry King has no use for women or black people. He feels he's better
Sit
than
here and allow
David
Larry to be
me
personally
to be-
attacked.
Let him go, Kim.
This
Kim,
is-
this
He
is gonna be
should
good in
be
litigation.
the one
Boy,
to
doesn't
do
need to be
that.
around here.
And look,
I
now students
caution
have to
Mario
encounter this.
Great job.
this behavior.
That
Honestly,
is looking for
I'm sorry, young man.
the weak points and using them to control also the actions of the voters as the school district to research the voting for April 15. Okay? I'm gonna finish up with that. Here's your proof, ladies and gentlemen. The district was $6 million in debt when we ran in 2015. And recently, you all may have gotten this one, which shows us $3.5 billion in debt. We decreased the deficit by $2.5 million. That's a fact.
Proof to what? I don't understand what you're saying.
That
You
you
just
sit
said
there
proof
and
to
tell
what?
lies to people. These people are working hard to reduce the deficit.
You're an idiot. Put that in the record. I
Yeah.
called Mark Johnson an idiot.
And that's okay.
And the voters need to know
All right,
that. This is what's representing is their tax dollars.
Yeah, okay. I'm finished, Madam President.
Now, you want to say something?
Oh, you know what? You don't know how to run a meeting. You're an absolute idiot as well.
Thanks.
How's that?
Leslie, did you have something?
Yes, I was able to attend the National Association of School Board.
It's a nice way to talk to a woman in public. can't. You're not even a man.
Yeah, it's a nice way to talk to a woman in public.
You need to apologize with her.
You know what? Your Debbie Stearns is lynch squad. You intimidate nobody.
You know what? You
I
don't
have
know
one of those
anything.
jackets that I wear on Halloween.
You don't know anything. You don't know nothing about us. You know nothing about us. Nothing about us. You can't respect a woman. You know nothing about us. So don't call me a lynch mob.
You know what?
Don't say
Your
anything.
Debbie Stearns
You
is
don't
no.
know who I am.
You don't know.
She's causing this.
You got to respect
You're a dirtbag.
You know what? You're not intimidating anybody.
Well, I don't want to intimidate nobody.
Then sit down!
You want to
Sit down! This is our
Who
meeting!
you yelling at?
This is our meeting! Sit down!
Who you yelling at? Who you yelling at? Who I didn't get to Who you yelling at?
Please.
You just
Get out of here!
Call him, somebody.
You hit me!
I didn't hit
Call
you.
right now!
Yeah, call right now.
You
hit
yelling at something
me.
like that. I didn't touch you. I hit you.
Could
You
you call
disrespect a
911?
woman in a public court? A public thing?
This ain't
You're
a public
piece
court.
Of crap.
This isn't a public
It's
court.
public.
This is our board
It's
meeting.
public.
Get out of here! This
It's
is
public.
our
It's
board meeting.
public, tough guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tough guy.
Oh, guess what? I got one of them in the closet. I wear it on Halloween.
Good,
Okay?
good.
So come
You're a
stumble
Jew.
along.
You're a
Come
Jew.
stumble along.
Come on, buddy.
Come stumble along.
Board meeting. Thank you.
No, sit down. Don't leave. The police are coming to say hello to you. Sit down. No, Dean. No, Dean. You know what? You're a lynch mob for Debbie Stearns. You come here and you try to intimidate this board meeting. Ain't happening.
Intimidate.
Guess what?
Intimidate
Guess
you,
what?
my friend.
Oh,
You, my
absolutely.
friend.
It don't work. It don't work.
You think it's gonna work?
You got the wrong guy
I
here.
got the right
It does not
You ain't
work
no
here.
guy. You ain't no
Okay?
guy talking
Does not
to
work.
a woman.
She's not a woman, let me tell
You're a
you.
piece of shit.
Same with you.
You ain't no guy. Talk to a woman like that.
Yeah, sit down. Wait, there's somebody that's gonna come see it. Sit down.
Right, when you go into the main entrance, you take a right and you come right to the IMC.
Yeah. No, you know what? Normal people don't act like that.
Yeah, like you.
Absolutely no respect for her. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Come on. But you're not a man. Come on. A really man respect a woman. Come on.
Just wait. You got some people coming that would like to talk to you.
We'll wait for him outside. Let's go. We'll wait for him outside.
Yeah. Scatter. That man assaulted me right there.
Yeah, I assaulted
and I want a
I
report.
assaulted you. Did everybody here see me assault you?
You hit me in my chest.
I didn't
pal.
touch you.
Oh, now you did.
Have me
Own
arrested.
up,
I
big
don't
guy.
care.
Hey, own up, big guy. Own up, big guy. Come on, how bad are you?
Hey, call the police.
Own up. Yeah, don't go anywhere because I think you're going to
I
be
ain't going anywhere. Don't threaten me. Don't threaten me.
There's no threat. Stay here.
I want you to push me back. You want to play that game?
No,
Push me
nobody
back.
pushed you back.
Yes, you did. Spit my face.
Hopefully we got it on tape.
I do.
Good.
Good, thank you. Nice, Debbie. Very nice people that you hang out with. That you invite you on meetings.
Shut up, Larry. You better shut up. Go ahead. Keep talking to the women like that. Keep talking to the women. Keep talking to the women like that, tough guy.
Just stick around.
Okay, as I was saying, I was able to attend the National Board of Education meeting on, that convened on the 25th through the 23rd to the 27th. I'm sorry. I was able to attend the meeting, which over thousands of public education leaders and decision makers, vendors, and exhibitors from across the country convened for this annual conference. The conference offered more than 200 educational sessions and related activities on topics such as school governance and educational leadership, innovations in district management, legal, legislative, and public advocacy, the professional and personal development for school board, superintendent partnerships, student achievement, and accountability, and how technology is transforming schools and learning. This was an absolutely astronomical event. The first day they had many of the leaders were able to visit the schools and STEM programs and their aviation program. While I wasn't able to attend this particular event, I did speak with several people in leadership that said that this was an absolutely wonderful opportunity for K through 12 students to encounter and how they implemented their aviation program. I thought this was beneficial, seeing that we in District 228 have an aviation program that is coming up pretty soon. So I thought that was very important. On the conference, this opening day of NSBA, we were opened and greeted by a jazz band that was really fantastic. Sounded like a professional jazz band ensemble. And I also found out that jazz bands and different bands are invited each year for the conference. They invite maybe approximately 20 people from area districts or districts all over the United States to encounter on the experience of playing on the national level. On the conference opening, the director and CEO, Tom Gensel, which I also got to speak with on one-on-one, he unveiled the second phase of the National Public Awareness Campaign for Stand Up for Public Schools, which premiered the campaign's No Ordinary Day movie. The Stand Up for Public Schools campaign is an opportunity to share a rich story about public education and accentuate that every day in public school is unique and filled with acts of heroism, said Gensel. The campaign is the best way for people to demonstrate their support for children and their community. I was also able to attend three out of 200 workshops that were offered at the conference. One was effective board members, and also how we can increase the academic levels for our students. And basically what they said is that we have a trickle-down effect, and I think it's very important, especially seeing what has been transpiring here, that we have to understand that we are a Board of Education. We're responsible for many of the things that go on in the district, going on in the district, and we set the tone. And for our administrators, for our teachers, and for our students. And it's very important that we know how to conduct ourselves to set the tone for the district. So that should be set by us, the Board of Education. Other highlights of the conference included keynotes from NASA astronaut captain Scott Kelly, which he told about his venture. He wasn't always the smartest kid in school, student in school, and he didn't find his niche until after he had gotten into college. And how he had to find something that he connected with, and literally a book basically grabbed his attention, and he found out about aeronautics. One of his friends, when he was a young boy, he remembers that he tells the story about how the little boy said, "I want to be an astronaut when I grow up." And then he said, "I will too." He said, "Well, you can't be an astronaut because I'm an astronaut." He said, "Well, I'm going to be an astronaut." So he remembered those experiences and things that he had said, and he had spoken into existence what he was going to be in life. And it's through those experiences that he led him to being spending 1 year in space. So that was Scott Kelly. Also, commentator and co-founder and former editor-in-chief of the Huffington Post news site, Ariana Huffington, and youth advocate, Rhodes Scholar, she also spoke, and she talked about the importance of getting rest so that you can have a creative mind, and the importance of balance, having balance in your life. Rhodes Scholar, decorated U.S. Army officer and acclaimed author Wes Moore also spoke from his time from hard life, basically having a life of hard knocks, to being able to achieve his goals and There were several, also was able to visit the NASA program that they had there in Colorado, which we actually got to see live feed from a satellite. And if you know anything about satellites, the live feed is about 40 to 45 minutes difference in time. So when you're looking at the satellite is in space, it's 45 minutes later from when it shot into space. And the sponsor of these programs was K-12, how we bring education into the classrooms. There was a big push, there's a big push for STEM programs into our schools. So that's just a few of the highlights that I got to encounter. For more information, I'll be glad to talk to anybody about that experience. And at each of your proceedings brought up a little something back from that experience. Oh, also, I want to, one more little thing. I just wanted to let it publicly be known that the retirees will be missed, and I want to thank them for their service. I'll thank them again on Thursday when I see them, but I just want to thank the retirees. They will be missed. Thank you.
I just want to wish all the students good luck as they're preparing for finals and AP exams and graduations. I know it's an exciting time right now. But I want to wish them the best along with the teachers, principals, deans as they prepare the students in their final journeys, final days here at District 228. So thank you very much.
At the March 21st board meeting, we had a student address us regarding some concerns with the status of the equipment over at Bremen with their drama. I think all the repairs she was concerned about were fixed the next day. None of this was ever brought to anyone's attention at the school. There was never a work order filled out. No one knew anything about all the problems they were having, so I want to commend Bremen for addressing all the concerns so quickly. Anyone interested in construction updates can watch it on our Facebook or our website. The Township Treasurer's Trustee of Schools office recently had their meeting, and it's exciting to know that they were $43,000 under budget for the last fiscal year, and that will be returned to the district shortly. And now we'll move on to committee reports with finance.
Thank you very much. On Monday, April 10th at 7 p.m., the Finance Committee met. Present were myself, Mrs. Camworth, Mr. Canning, and Mr. O'Malley. Absent were none. Guests were none. For old business, Mr. Canning asked about the input process for the QSCB project. Mr. O'Malley reviewed this with the committee. For the April bills, impress funds, and deposits, the committee reviewed and discussed the April bills, impress expenditures, and deposits. These items have been reviewed by the Finance Committee, and along with the superintendent is recommending full board approval of the April bills, addendum to bills, impress expenditures, and deposits. There were no over $5,000 purchase orders. For the Career Development System CDS bills, the Finance Committee reviewed the CDS April bills totaling $15,463.09. These items have been reviewed by the Finance Committee, and along with the superintendent is recommending full board approval of the CDS April bills as presented. The 2017-2018 operating budget, the committee discussed and accepted the recommendation to adopt the 2016-17 legal budget at a 50% level as the 2017-18 operating budget until the 2017-18 tentative budget is presented in July. The operating budget is a necessary step in the budget process. This will allow for purchase orders pertaining to the 17-18 school year to generate during this fiscal year. In creating this operating budget, we will ensure prompt order placement of required items such as textbooks, workbooks, and various supplies. It is critical to receive these items in a timely fashion in order to properly prepare for the upcoming school year. This item has been reviewed by the Finance Committee, and along with the superintendent is recommending full board approval of the 2017-18 operating budget. The minibus lease. The Finance Committee reviewed the proposal from Midwest Transit for the 4-year lease of 12 minibuses for the 2017-2018 through the 2020-2021 school years. This is an annual savings of $5,676 versus the current lease, and also includes an extended 3-year warranty on the buses. Our current lease will expire in July of 2017. The Finance Committee, along with the Superintendent, is recommending the approval of the minibus lease with the Midwest Transit. PTAB. How do you say that name? Polyanka? Polyanka. The Finance Committee discussed the PTAB for Polyanka pertaining to PINS locals at 14700-30 South Central Avenue in Oak Forest. John Izzo is recommending a settlement for this property to prevent a potential revenue loss of over $51,000 to the district. The settlement would entail both the 2012 and 2013 tax years. Mr. Izzo's letter has been included with your packet. The Finance Committee, along with the Superintendent, is recommending the approval of the proposed PTAB settlement. PTAB for A.J. Smith Federal Savings Bank. The Finance Committee discussed the PTAB for A.J. Smith Federal Savings Bank pertaining to PINS located at 14757 South Cicero Avenue in Oak Forest. John Izzo is recommending a settlement for this property to prevent a potential revenue loss of over $11,000 to the district. The settlement would entail both the 2012 and 2013 tax years. Mr. Izzo's letter has been included with your packet. The Finance Committee, along with the Superintendent, is recommending the approval of the proposed PTAB settlement. Announcements. Next meeting is scheduled for May 1st, 2017 at 7 at the Administration Center, and the meeting was adjourned at 7:21 p.m.
Thank you. Teaching and learning?
Teaching and learning meeting was called to order at 6:30 on April 11, 2017. Present were myself, Ms. Stearns, Mrs. Gleason, and Dr. Williams. Guest was Mrs. Jones. The committee had the opportunity to see various aspects of the data warehouse, this is on Decision Ed, including current enrollment and attendance trends, discipline infractions, and responses along with academic data. Dr. Williams explained how the administrators use Decision Ed to complete their second quarter data retreat presentations and will use this tool for future data presentations. Textbook adoption. Dr. Williams presented new textbooks and supplemental materials such as workbooks to the committee for review. These materials will support the curricular changes made in Math 1, American History, AP American History, AP Microeconomics, and Personal Finance. In addition, new high-interest novels are being adopted to support the curriculum being taught in Studies in American Literature, Studies in Contemporary Literature, and Foundations of Cultural Perspectives and Speculative Literature. All of these resources will be on display at the Administrative Center for about the next 30 days and will be presented to the full board for approval on May 9th. The committee was given an update to changes made by the District Evaluation Committee on the teacher evaluation process. These changes include, but are not limited to, providing clearer examples for teachers to reference as they identify artifacts for Domain 4 professionalism. In addition, teachers who received a summative rating of excellent will have the opportunity to participate in a modified Danielson evaluation during his or her next cycle. The next meeting will be held on Tuesday, May 2nd at 6:30 at the Administrative Center, and the meeting adjourned at 8:02 p.m.
And labor management.
Labor management met on Tuesday, April 10th at 5:30 p.m. Present were Kevin Donovan, Kathleen McNeely, Kevin Walsh, Dr. Kendall, myself, Christine Russler, and Mark Johnson. Guests were Larry Canning and Debbie Stearns. The committee reviewed procedures with regard to harassment. Following discussion, it was determined that the JFA and management will hold future meetings for discussion regarding procedures and training. The meeting adjourned at 6:05 p.m.
Personnel met Monday, April 10th. All members of the committee were there. For new business, the following certificated staff were brought for discussion. At Bremen, the approval of the employment of a bilingual tutor. At Hillcrest, the approval of the retirement request for a teacher, the acceptance of the resignation of a social worker, and the approval of the employment of an English tutor. At Oak Forest, the approval of the employment of a school nurse and a French teacher. And at the district, the approval of a change in position of a science teacher to a district science supervisor. The committee agreed to make these recommendations to the full board for approval. Dr. Gagnon presented the educational support personnel recommendations for discussion. At Oak Forest, the acceptance of the resignation of a building manager chief. The next meeting will be May 1st at 6:30 at the Ed Center, and we adjourned at 6:45. New business, Mr. O'Malley.
Thank you, Ms. Stearns. Board members, item 10.1 pertains to our monthly bills, the addendum to bills, payroll, and our CBS bills. Finance Committee along with the superintendent, has reviewed these and are recommending them to the full board this evening.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Rustler, second by Mr. Johnson. Any discussion? No discussion.
Mrs. Ressler? Aye. Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mr. Canning?
Aye.
Mrs. Gleason? Aye. Mrs. Jones? Aye. Mrs. Camworth? Aye. Ms. Stearns?
Aye.
Item 10.2 pertains to our 2017-2018 operating budget. This is necessary to promptly order the proper supplies for the upcoming school year. This is the standard process that the district has followed. We're recommending the adoption of the 16-17 for our 17-18 operating budget.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Ms. Rustler, second by Ms. Gleason. Any discussion? No discussion.
Mrs. Ressler? Aye. Mrs. Gleason? Aye. Mr. Canning?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones? Aye. Mrs. Camworth? Aye. Ms. Stearns?
Aye.
Item 10.3 pertains to our minibus lease with Midwest Transit. This is the company that we've used for the past 3 leases. We were able to negotiate a reduced lease for the upcoming year, and we're recommending this lease to the board for approval.
So moved. Second. Moved by Ms. Gleason, second by Ms. Rustler. Any discussion?
Yes. Didn't we buy like mini buses?
We purchased minivans 2 years ago. Yes. Sure.
I'd just like to mention that almost $5,700 in savings is a great job. And also the extended 3-year warranty. I mean,
Yeah,
talk about budget deficit. These are the kinds of things that help us keep it going down.
That's going to be
Thank
key
you.
for us moving forward.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excuse me, could you bring up right while we use them?
What we utilize them for? Sure. We utilize them for during the day field trips. We utilize them for some odd transportation from place to place. For example, when we have our youth and government meetings, the administrators will transport the students to the one location so we can have those meetings. And then we utilize those for any after-school activities. For field trips, we use them for the band, we use them for our sports programs in lieu of chartering. So we save a considerable amount of money as a district by utilizing these resources versus having to just contract out charters all the time for our transportation.
I just want to add, prior to leasing them, we used to purchase them, but we learned that the value of the bus obviously goes down and the cost of maintenance goes up. And so this is really a much better solution to leasing program.
It's worked out really well for us. Yes.
Thank you. Mrs. Gleason?
Aye.
Mrs. Ressler? Aye. Mr. Canning?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones? Aye. Mrs. Camworth? Aye. Ms. Stearns?
Aye.
Item 10.1 pertains to the PTAB for Edward Palliatka. We are recommending the attorney's recommendation to move forward with the settlement for this PTAB to prevent that revenue loss to the district.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Rustler, second by Ms. Gleason. Any discussion?
This is another example. I mean, this is revenue from 2012 and 13 tax years that they just take away in the next distribution. With the 2 PTABs just at this meeting, you're looking at $62,000.
Right.
These large companies that they just routinely go in for an appeal and they get something. So our revenue is constantly being
And it's more and more prevalent now with
Absolutely.
with the EABs declining the way that they have. Everybody has jumped on board. I mean, it's amazing how it's seen over the last 11 years, the amount of PTABs now, and everybody is applying for it.
and you see the same names year after year.
Yes.
And I think our regular collection rate is only at like 85%, right?
You know what, it's gone down some, it's not, I don't have the exact numbers, I'd have to check with Mr. McDonald, but yeah, it has dropped off over the last couple of years.
How much are we talking about, Thomas, if you had to guess?
In terms of which
Not
thing,
collected?
Jackson?
Yeah, good.
Well, yeah, I couldn't make a statement off the top of my head to give you an accurate number, but yeah, it's a significant amount.
Mrs. Ressler? Aye. Mrs. Gleason?
Aye.
Mr. Canning?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
Mrs. Jones? Aye. Mrs. Camworth, aye. Ms. Stearns?
Aye.
Item 10.5, similar to 10.4, is a PTAB for A.J. Smith Federal Savings Bank. Again, we're recommending the negotiated settlement for the